The morning sun cast a golden glow over St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle as Lady Gabriella Windsor prepared for the most important day of her life. The daughter of Prince Michael of Kent had dreamed of this moment since childhood, but never imagined it would take place in such a magnificent royal setting. Her wedding to Thomas Kingston was set to become one of the most talked-about royal events of 2019. Gabriella stood in her private dressing room, surrounded by her closest friends and family members. The atmosphere was filled with nervous excitement and gentle laughter. Her wedding dress, designed by Luisa Beccaria, hung gracefully on a silk-covered hanger. The cream-colored gown featured delicate lace details and flowing fabric that would trail behind her as she walked down the aisle. The dress had been kept secret for months, with only a select few people knowing the final design. Thomas Kingston, meanwhile, was getting ready in another part of the castle. He had chosen a traditional mourning coat for the occasion, understanding the importance of following royal protocol. Thomas was not born into royalty, but he had learned to navigate the complex world of royal traditions with grace and respect. His background in finance and his calm personality had impressed the royal family from the moment Gabriella introduced him. The couple had met through mutual friends at a social gathering in London several years earlier. Their romance had blossomed slowly, built on shared interests in art, travel, and charitable work. Thomas had proposed during a romantic trip to Italy, choosing a quiet moment on a terrace overlooking the Mediterranean Sea. The proposal was intimate and personal, exactly what Gabriella had hoped for. As the morning progressed, guests began arriving at Windsor Castle. The guest list included members of the British royal family, foreign royalty, and close personal friends of the couple. Queen Elizabeth II had given her permission for the wedding to take place at St. George's Chapel, the same venue where Prince Harry and Meghan Markle had married just 1 year earlier. The Queen herself planned to attend, showing her support for her cousin's daughter. The chapel's ancient stones had witnessed countless royal ceremonies over the centuries, but each wedding brought its own unique energy and significance. The florists had worked through the night to transform the space with white roses, peonies, and greenery that complemented the chapel's Gothic architecture. Candles flickered softly, creating an intimate atmosphere despite the grandeur of the setting. Gabriella's mother, Princess Michael of Kent, had been instrumental in planning every detail of the wedding. Known for her attention to perfection and her understanding of royal protocol, she had ensured that nothing was left to chance. The guest accommodations, the menu for the reception, and even the timing of photographs had all been carefully coordinated. The bride's father, Prince Michael of Kent, waited patiently to escort his daughter down the aisle. He had watched Gabriella grow from a spirited young girl into an accomplished woman who had carved out her own career in the arts world. Despite her royal connections, Gabriella had always maintained a level of independence that her parents admired and encouraged. Security preparations had been underway for weeks. Windsor Castle's experienced security team worked alongside local police to ensure the safety of all guests while maintaining the celebratory atmosphere. The public areas around the castle were carefully monitored, though the wedding was primarily a private family affair rather than a major state occasion. Local residents of Windsor had grown accustomed to royal events at the castle, but there was still a sense of excitement in the air. Small crowds gathered near the castle gates, hoping to catch glimpses of arriving guests and perhaps see the bride and groom. The town's shops had created special window displays celebrating the occasion, and local newspapers had been covering the wedding preparations for weeks. Inside the castle, final preparations were being completed. The wedding cake, a traditional fruit cake covered in white icing, had been placed in the reception area. Musicians were running through their final rehearsals, ensuring that every note would be perfect for the ceremony. The chapel organist had selected pieces that held special meaning for Gabriella and Thomas, including music that had been played at previous royal weddings. As the clock approached the ceremony time, Gabriella took a final look in the mirror. She wore a simple but elegant tiara that had belonged to her grandmother, connecting her to generations of royal brides who had worn similar pieces on their wedding days. Her bouquet, made of white roses and lily of the valley, was crafted to complement her dress while following the royal tradition of including flowers with symbolic meaning. The sound of church bells echoed across Windsor as the wedding ceremony was about to begin. Guests had taken their seats in a historic chapel, with the front rows reserved for members of the royal family. Queen Elizabeth II arrived punctually, wearing a bright outfit that stood out beautifully against the ancient stone walls. Prince Philip accompanied her, walking slowly but steadily to their designated seats. Prince William and Catherine, the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge, were among the notable royal attendees. Catherine wore an elegant navy dress with a matching hat, while William appeared handsome in his morning suit. Their presence added significant prestige to the occasion, as they rarely attended extended family weddings due to their busy official schedules. Princess Anne arrived with her husband, Sir Timothy Lawrence, both looking dignified and pleased to be celebrating with the family. Prince Edward and Sophie, the Earl and Countess of Wessex, also attended with their children, Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn. The younger royals seemed excited to participate in such a special family celebration. Foreign royal guests added an international element to the gathering. Representatives from European royal families had traveled to Windsor to honor the couple. These connections highlighted the ongoing relationships between royal houses across different countries, maintaining traditions of mutual respect and celebration that had existed for centuries. Thomas Kingston's family members were welcomed warmly into this royal setting. His parents had initially felt nervous about navigating royal protocol, but the welcoming nature of the Windsor family had put them at ease during the pre-wedding events. They had attended rehearsals and family dinners, gradually becoming comfortable with the formal traditions they needed to follow. The chapel's choir began the processional music as the moment everyone had been waiting for approached. The ancient melodies filled the sacred space, creating an atmosphere of solemnity and joy. Gabriella's bridesmaids, dressed in coordinated outfits that complemented her gown, made their way down the aisle with measured steps. Behind them, Gabriella appeared on the arm of her father, Prince Michael of Kent. The sight of the bride caused a gentle murmur of admiration from the gathered guests. Her dress moved gracefully as she walked, and her confident smile showed that she was truly enjoying this momentous occasion. Prince Michael looked proud and emotional as he prepared to give his daughter away. Thomas waited at the altar, his face showing a mixture of joy and nervous anticipation. He had chosen his groomsmen carefully, including close friends who had supported him throughout his relationship with Gabriella. The men stood in perfect formation, understanding the importance of their role in this significant ceremony. The Dean of Windsor conducted the service with dignity and warmth. He had officiated at numerous royal weddings and understood how to balance the formal requirements with the personal nature of the celebration. His words were carefully chosen to reflect both the significance of marriage and the particular joy of this union. Traditional wedding vows were exchanged in clear, confident voices. Gabriella and Thomas had decided to use the time-honored words that had been spoken by countless couples before them, feeling that these classic promises captured exactly what they wanted to express to each other. Their voices carried clearly throughout the chapel as they made their lifelong commitments. The exchange of rings was a particularly touching moment. Thomas had chosen a simple gold band for Gabriella, while she had selected a classic design for him. The rings had been blessed earlier in the ceremony, and as they were placed on each other's fingers, the significance of the moment was evident to everyone present. Music played an important role throughout the ceremony. The chapel's renowned acoustics enhanced every note, from the processional pieces to the hymns sung by the congregation. Gabriella and Thomas had chosen music that was meaningful to them personally while also being appropriate for the formal setting. During the signing of the register, a small group of close family members moved to the private area behind the altar. This intimate moment allowed for quiet congratulations and the first official photographs as a married couple. Queen Elizabeth II signed as one of the official witnesses, adding her royal signature to this important document. The congregation waited patiently during this private time, many taking the opportunity to admire the chapel's beautiful architecture and historical significance. Conversations were conducted in hushed tones, respecting the sacred nature of the space while sharing in the joy of the occasion. Photography throughout the ceremony was handled by skilled professionals who understood royal protocol. Every angle and moment was captured discreetly, ensuring that the ceremony proceeded smoothly while creating a permanent record of this important family event. The photographers had worked at previous royal weddings and knew exactly how to balance their work with respect for the religious service. As the register signing concluded, the newly married couple prepared for their recessional walk back down the aisle. This would be their first public appearance as husband and wife, and the anticipation in the chapel was building toward this celebratory moment. The triumphant sound of wedding music filled St. George's Chapel as Lady Gabriella Windsor, now Mrs. Thomas Kingston, emerged from behind the altar with her new husband. The couple's faces radiated pure happiness as they began their walk back down the aisle as a married couple. This recessional moment marked the successful completion of their wedding ceremony and the beginning of their new life together. Guests rose to their feet as the couple passed, many smiling broadly at the obvious joy displayed by the newlyweds. Queen Elizabeth II watched with particular pleasure, having known Gabriella since birth and witnessing her growth into a confident young woman. The Queen's presence at the wedding demonstrated her continued support for all members of her extended family. Prince Michael of Kent walked alongside his wife, Princess Michael, both parents visibly moved by the beautiful ceremony they had just witnessed. Princess Michael had been deeply involved in every aspect of the wedding planning, and seeing everything come together perfectly filled her with satisfaction. Prince Michael had performed his fatherly duties with dignity and was now ready to celebrate his daughter's happiness. The chapel doors opened to reveal bright sunshine waiting outside. This perfect weather seemed to bless the union, as rain had been forecast earlier in the week. The couple paused at the chapel entrance, allowing photographers to capture their first moments as husband and wife in the natural light. Their smiles were genuine and relaxed, showing how comfortable they felt with each other and with this momentous occasion. Royal protection officers had coordinated with castle security to ensure smooth transitions between different parts of the celebration. While maintaining necessary safety protocols, they worked to keep the atmosphere joyful and unrestricted. Their professional expertise allowed the family to focus entirely on celebrating without worrying about security concerns. Inside the chapel, guests began moving toward the reception areas within Windsor Castle. The transition was carefully orchestrated to prevent overcrowding while maintaining the elegant flow of the celebration. Castle staff, experienced in hosting royal events, guided everyone efficiently through the historic corridors toward the designated reception spaces. The reception rooms had been transformed into elegant celebration areas. Fresh flowers from the castle gardens complemented the existing artwork and furnishings, creating spaces that felt both grand and welcoming. Round tables were arranged to encourage conversation between guests who might not know each other well, mixing royal family members with Thomas's friends and family. Thomas's parents found themselves seated near several members of the royal family, an arrangement that initially seemed daunting but quickly became comfortable. The royal family members proved to be excellent conversationalists, asking genuine questions about Thomas's background and sharing amusing stories about Gabriella's childhood. These interactions helped bridge any social gaps that might have existed. Professional photographers moved discreetly through the reception areas, capturing candid moments of celebration and conversation. Their experience with royal events meant they could document the occasion thoroughly while remaining practically invisible to the guests. Every important moment was recorded, from Queen Elizabeth II chatting with other family members to children playing quietly in designated areas. The wedding cake-cutting ceremony took place in the main reception room. The traditional fruit cake, decorated with intricate white icing and fresh flowers, stood as the centerpiece of this moment. Gabriella and Thomas approached the cake together, using a ceremonial sword that had historical significance to the Windsor family. Their coordination in cutting the first slice drew applause and laughter from the gathered guests. Speeches began after the cake cutting, with Prince Michael of Kent delivering the first address. His words were heartfelt and personal, sharing stories about Gabriella's childhood and expressing his happiness at welcoming Thomas into the family. His speech balanced humor with genuine emotion, creating a warm atmosphere that put all guests at ease. Thomas's father spoke next, expressing gratitude for the warmth his family had received from the Windsors. He shared his observations about the genuine love between Thomas and Gabriella, noting how their relationship had strengthened both individuals. His words resonated with guests from both families, emphasizing the unity that this marriage represented. The best man delivered a speech that skillfully balanced humor with respect for the formal occasion. He shared amusing stories about Thomas while maintaining appropriate decorum for the royal setting. His words drew laughter without crossing any lines of propriety, demonstrating his understanding of the unique nature of this celebration. Queen Elizabeth II moved through the reception with her characteristic grace, speaking personally with many guests and showing genuine interest in their conversations. Her presence elevated the entire occasion, and her obvious approval of the union was clear to everyone present. Younger family members seemed particularly delighted to have the Queen attend their celebration. Traditional royal toasts were offered throughout the reception, with guests raising their glasses to honor the couple's future happiness. The drink service included both alcoholic and non-alcoholic options, ensuring that all guests could participate in these ceremonial moments regardless of their personal preferences. As afternoon moved toward evening, the atmosphere remained celebratory, but began to shift toward more intimate conversations. Smaller groups formed around the reception areas, allowing for deeper discussions between family members who rarely had opportunities to spend extended time together. These conversations strengthened family bonds and created lasting memories beyond the formal ceremony itself. As the afternoon celebration continued, Lady Gabriella and Thomas found quiet moments to connect with individual guests, ensuring everyone felt personally acknowledged on their special day. The couple moved gracefully through the reception, spending time with elderly relatives who had traveled long distances to attend, as well as younger family members who were excited to participate in such a significant royal event. The Duke and Duchess of Cambridge engaged in lengthy conversations with other guests, their presence adding considerable prestige to the occasion. Catherine was particularly admired for her elegant outfit choice and her warm interactions with Thomas's family members. Prince William shared stories about growing up in the royal family, helping Thomas's relatives understand the traditions and expectations that came with marrying into the Windsor clan. Princess Anne proved to be one of the most engaging guests, regaling nearby tables with stories from her extensive travels and royal duties. Her practical approach to royal life and her genuine personality created an atmosphere of warmth that helped everyone relax and enjoy the celebration. Guests found themselves laughing at her witty observations and feeling honored to share in her company. The younger royals, including Lady Louise Windsor and James, Viscount Severn, added a delightful energy to the proceedings. They moved between adult conversations and their own activities, perfectly behaved, but clearly enjoying the festive atmosphere. Their presence reminded everyone that this was ultimately a family celebration, bringing together multiple generations to honor love and commitment. Musicians provided elegant background music throughout the reception, carefully selected to enhance conversations without overpowering them. The repertoire included classical pieces that complemented the historic setting, as well as more contemporary selections that reflected the couple's personal tastes. The music created a sophisticated ambience that satisfied guests across different age groups and musical preferences. Castle staff worked seamlessly behind the scenes to ensure every aspect of the reception proceeded flawlessly. Their years of experience hosting royal events showed in the smooth service, the perfectly timed meal courses, and the discreet way they addressed any minor issues before guests even noticed them. This professional excellence allowed the family to focus entirely on celebrating rather than worrying about logistics. Thomas demonstrated his comfort within the royal family through his confident interactions with various guests. His natural charm and genuine interest in others made him popular among family members who were meeting him for the first time. Several relatives later commented on how well-suited he seemed for Gabriella and how seamlessly he fit into their family dynamic. The dining experience featured cuisine that honored both British traditions and the couple's personal preferences. Master chefs had created menus that satisfied formal expectations while incorporating dishes that held special meaning for Gabriella and Thomas. The presentation was exquisite, with each course served on fine china that had been selected specifically for the occasion. Photography continued throughout the reception, with particular attention paid to capturing interactions between different generations of the royal family. These images would become treasured family memories, documenting not just the wedding day, but also the relationships and connections that made the event so meaningful. The photographer's skill ensured that natural moments were preserved without interfering with the celebration. Queen Elizabeth II's departure marked a significant moment in the proceedings. Her presence had honored the couple and elevated the entire celebration, and her obvious approval of Thomas had been noted by everyone present. As she prepared to leave, she offered personal congratulations to both Gabriella and Thomas, sharing private words that clearly moved both of them deeply. Evening entertainment began to take shape as the formal reception elements concluded. Dancing commenced in spaces that had been prepared for this purpose, with music that encouraged participation across different age groups. The couple's first dance as husband and wife was a touching moment, performed to a song that held special meaning in their relationship. Thomas's friends from outside the royal family found themselves warmly welcomed into conversations and activities. Their presence added diversity to the celebration and helped create bridges between different social circles. Many commented later on how naturally the royal family interacted with people from various backgrounds, demonstrating genuine interest in others rather than standing on ceremony. Gabriella changed from her wedding dress into an elegant evening outfit that allowed for easier movement during dancing and socializing. Her evening look maintained the sophisticated elegance of her bridal appearance, while being more practical for the continuing celebration. This change also signaled the transition from formal ceremony to relaxed family party. Gift presentations took place in a private area, where the couple could properly acknowledge the thoughtful presents they had received from family and friends. The gifts ranged from practical household items to precious heirlooms, each chosen with care to support the couple's new life together. Their genuine appreciation for each gift was evident as they examined and discussed the various presents. Traditional royal wedding customs were observed throughout the evening, including specific toasts and ceremonial moments that connected this celebration to generations of family history. These traditions provided structure and meaning to the proceedings while also creating opportunities for storytelling and sharing family memories. The evening celebration reached its peak as friends and family gathered for dancing and continued festivities within the historic walls of Windsor Castle. The atmosphere had evolved from formal ceremony to joyful family party, with guests of all ages participating in the various activities that had been arranged for their enjoyment. The couple moved effortlessly between different groups, ensuring that everyone felt included in their special day. Late arriving guests who had been unable to attend the ceremony joined the evening reception, adding fresh energy to the continuing celebration. These friends and colleagues brought additional warmth to the proceedings, and their excitement at participating in such a significant royal event was infectious. Thomas and Gabriella took time to greet each new arrival personally, sharing the joy of their marriage with everyone present. The castle's historic rooms provided a magical backdrop for the evening festivities. Candlelight flickered against ancient stone walls, creating an atmosphere that was both romantic and grand. The juxtaposition of centuries-old architecture with modern celebration created a unique ambience that none of the guests would ever forget. Many commented on the privilege of celebrating in such a historically significant location. Children who had attended the wedding found themselves included in special activities designed to keep them engaged throughout the evening. Quiet play areas have been established where younger family members could enjoy themselves without disrupting adult conversations. The inclusion of children added a delightful family atmosphere to the proceedings and demonstrated the couple's desire to share their joy with every generation. Professional musicians transitioned to more contemporary selections as the evening progressed, encouraging dancing and creating opportunities for different generations to share the dance floor. The music selection demonstrated careful attention to the diverse tastes of guests while maintaining the elegant atmosphere appropriate for a royal celebration. Both traditional and modern songs found their place in the evening's entertainment. Thomas's background in finance had initially seemed quite different from Gabriella's artistic pursuits and royal connections, but the wedding celebration showcased how well these different worlds could blend together. Conversations throughout the evening revealed the many ways that diverse perspectives and experiences could strengthen relationships and create richer family dynamics. International guests shared stories about wedding traditions from their own countries, creating fascinating conversations about cultural differences and similarities. These exchanges highlighted the global connections maintained by royal families and demonstrated the universal nature of love and marriage celebrations across different cultures and traditions. The couple's obvious happiness continued to radiate throughout the evening, with their joy being reflected in the faces of everyone around them. Their comfort with each other and with their families created a relaxed atmosphere that allowed all guests to enjoy themselves fully. Many attendees later commented that this genuine happiness made the celebration particularly memorable. Photography concluded with formal family group pictures that would become treasured keepsakes for generations to come. These final images captured not just the immediate wedding party, but also the extended family relationships that have been strengthened and celebrated throughout the day. The professional expertise of the photographers ensured that these precious memories were preserved perfectly. As the evening drew toward its conclusion, traditional farewell customs were observed. The couple prepared to depart for their honeymoon, but not before taking time to personally thank key family members and friends who had made their celebration so special. These individual conversations provided opportunities for private expressions of gratitude and love. Gift tables groaned under the weight of presents that reflected the thoughtfulness and generosity of family and friends. From practical household items that would serve the couple in their daily life, to precious heirlooms that connected them to family history, each gift represented the love and support of their community. The couple's genuine appreciation for each present was evident in their reactions. Final preparations for the couple's departure included changing into traveling clothes and gathering personal items for their honeymoon journey. Their destination had been kept private, allowing them to begin their married life with some well-deserved privacy away from public attention. The anticipation of their upcoming trip added excitement to the evening's conclusion. Royal family members began their own departures as the celebration wound down, each taking time to offer personal congratulations and express their pleasure at welcoming Thomas into the family. These individual farewells reinforced the genuine warmth that had characterized the entire celebration and demonstrated the strong family bonds that would support the couple throughout their marriage. The success of the wedding celebration reflected months of careful planning and the dedication of numerous people working behind the scenes. From castle staff to security personnel, from musicians to caterers, everyone had contributed to creating a perfect day that honored both royal traditions and the couple's personal wishes. Their professionalism had allowed the family to focus entirely on celebrating love and commitment. As Lady Gabriella Windsor and Thomas Kingston finally departed Windsor Castle as husband and wife, they carried with them the love and support of family and friends who had gathered to celebrate their union. The ancient walls of the castle had witnessed another chapter in royal family history, adding their wedding to the countless celebrations that had taken place within these historic grounds over the centuries.